So one of the first things that you're going to have to understand in order to truly grasp the three concepts that I'm going to want you to utilize in interpreting and analyzing literature for this particular course is the idea of polemics. Grasping the idea of polemics, or grasping the concept of polemics, is fairly simple. It's fairly easy. All you have to think about is the Earth, for example. The Earth has a North Pole, it has a South Pole, and ever between the two shall meet. They'll never actually meet each other because they're on opposite ends of the Earth. We want to look at it like in terms of a battery. On one end it's a positive end, the other side is the negative end. Those are poles. So in terms of polemic elements, whenever I talk about polemic elements, what I want you to do in terms of the literature, I want you to find forces or values within the actual literature itself, which you can define or identify as polemics. So for example, this idea of polemics, it doesn't necessarily have to be in direct opposition. They don't need to be complete opposites, but what they can be something that's different than the other. So for example, in terms of competing cultures, we have America on the northern side of the continent, then we have Mexico on the southern side of the continent. America and Mexico, they're not exactly opposites, but they're not the same. And so you could look at Mexico and America as polemic elements. If you want to look at it in terms of what it is that these concepts are trying to do, they're trying to negotiate obstacles in which you can actually combine a negative and a positive. You can combine opposing elements and put them together to form something new. So for example, you have Mexico, you have America, they're incongruent with each other, but you can put them together and you can form the Mexican-American. The Mexican-American is not strictly American, is not strictly Mexican, but in fact is both of them put together. And so this idea of polemics, what it is all you have to do is you have to identify something that is not equal to the other. And really the way that I want you to look at this is in terms of agrarian versus industrialization, in terms of stratification, the rich and the poor, the factory owner and the factory worker, man and woman, in terms of like their educational opportunities, so on and so forth. The very, very base thing that you need to understand is that all of this is going to come from understanding the concept of polemics and these polemic values which exist in literature and life and everywhere else.